Hello my friends, Whip here, and welcome on back to Building with Whip, where in the last episode, we built up this lovely old Monster Hunter's mansion over here, and y'all seem to absolutely love that one, so thank you so very much for the support here. And today, my friends, we are finishing this village project, and I just want to say thank you so very much for the support through this entire episode and this entire series. And you know, this episode for all 35 seconds of it so far. But my friends, I wanted to put a little bit of a challenge out there. If we can hit 5,000 likes on this video, for the next video, I will release the world download for the Minecraft 1.15 world. Because next episode, my friends, we are moving into Minecraft 1.16, which means we are starting off Building with Whip Season 3, which I am absolutely excited for. In the meantime, though, my friends, I have come back here and built up a lovely little cart, built up a few more fields, and added some custom trees, and also finished off the back of the manor, which is awesome. It's so very cool. I just kind of went and just did these two big windows, then we did a smaller one right up there, and just kind of bone mealed the heck out of this whole area over here to fill it up with something, because I was feeling very, very flat. But I do have a question for y'all. Starting off today's episode, what biome do you think we should go to in Minecraft 1.16? I'm talking overworld biomes. We're going to be building in the nether a lot, and that's going to be super fun. But overworld biome-wise, where do you think we should base? Right now, we're in a plains biome with some rivers right here. I've been leaning towards a taiga forest, basically a spruce forest. I think that could be pretty fun, but let me know what y'all think about that in the comments below. And if you have any ideas on build styles that we should try and go for, let me know that one as well. I'm open to all ears on this one. All ears are open, all two of them. But I'm thinking it could be really fun to incorporate some of the nether blocks into an overworld build style. If you have a favorite nether block that I need to use, you gotta let me know. Now, for today's projects, however, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 buildings left to finish, which means we've got a lot of building ahead of us today, my friends. All 5 of these are going to be finished by the end of it. I've got an idea for the Apothecary, and I've got an idea for that one, which was supposed to be a town hall, but I think I'm going to mix it up in just kind of a cool looking barracks of sorts instead of a town hall, because I got a better idea for that one. So without any further ado, my friends, let's get on with some building for today. Now, I was over at the port city grabbing up a few more shulker boxes full of resources that we can use, and I realized it has been so long since we've updated this map. So I think to get ourselves started, actually today, is I want to update this thing if I can. There we go. There's a way to break one. And then we need this one. And then for safe measure, let's take that one with us as well. You know what? We're taking all 4. And I had one question I wanted to ask you all while we were flying back over to the village. In 1.16, I've mentioned setting a few goals for myself for things that we're going to be doing, things that we're going to be trying to keep in touch. And wow, I forgot to update this entire sea cliff area, so that is sweet. But I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to keep in mind of, like, goals that we were going to be achieving and things that we're going to be doing just to keep things more on the interesting side. And I think I found a few good ones, and one that I wanted to share with y'all as a little bit of a teaser for what we're going to be doing, and also to kind of claim the idea here, is that in order to bring back tools like these lovely ones right here, because we're staying in the same world, we're not going anywhere, I figured it'd be kind of cool because of using the netherite, we need to use a netherite ingot to upgrade a diamond pickaxe in order to turn it into a netherite pickaxe. And it keeps the enchantments, it keeps the name, it keeps all that cool stuff. So my thought with this one was every single time we get a netherite ingot, we are allowed to bring back one tool from Building with Whip Season 1, Season 2, all that stuff. I feel like that's a cool way of doing it. Let me know what your thoughts are on that one, if you think that's a good way to go or not. I'm trying to think of different ways, and also this looks amazing over here, but I'm trying to think of different ways that we can incorporate bringing back the older tools into the world still and have it make sense. Instead of, I don't want to do one of those things of, we beat the Ender Dragon, we get access to everything. With this being the last 115 episode, I figured we would rock the shaders for the entirety of it. I've been loving this. This is the Bsl Shaders. In the last episode, everybody seemed to say this was their favorite one. And I've been working on this little guardhouse structure over here a bit so far. It's very bricky at this point in time, and I'm adding in a little bit of granite here and there just because I have a connected texture, and it works out very, very well with bricks, is that we can make it look like the bricks are kind of overlaying onto it, which I think is pretty sweet. So I've been working my way around here, kind of getting in these extra details and just breaking up. You can see that little bit of granite there and there just helps to break up that consistency of the dirt texture, or of the brick texture. But coming up here to the top, I want to mess around with a little bit of polished andesite. If we can land, we got it. We're good to go. And I wanted to use a little bit of polished andesite right up here and do this one, and this one. And then up here on the corners, it's going to be raised up a little bit further. And we can do like a little guy like right here. But what I kind of want to mess around with is seeing, maybe not that. But what I've been wanting to mess around with, as I was going to get to saying, is that we can come up here and just use a bit of a highlight block, being our polished andesite on this one, to make it feel much more like a fortified tower than it would be just with a brick top to it. I feel like this is going to be a great way we can give it a lot more life and character to the build. So coming in here, we can just add in a little bit of polished andesite stuff going around it. And then maybe we can do just slab, 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 and slab. And then we can just flatten out this interior area. But if we come down here and look back up it, it should feel much more fortified than when we just had bricks in the build, which I think is cool. So I'm going to work on getting that around all 4 different sides of it. This structure right here, I think it's just going to be a wooden one. So, or maybe I'll bring in some of the sandstone like we have there, but I don't want to do the whole white diorite stuff to it. So I think I'll get all that one in here just with like a roof that kind of comes up straight and then just goes into the build like that. And is a little bit shorter and it should look pretty cool. I don't want this to overpower at all what we have going on with that structure over there or the Painters Guild. Those things need to stay as the unique points of being kind of that focal point of the village. Also, if you didn't notice, I added chimneys. It looks great. I have most of the structure finished up now for this one, and it looks pretty cool from this side. I really like it. Feels very strong and fortified, which is what I'm going for here. And there's a wandering trader down there sneaking around in our fishing nets. These things catch more wandering traders than they catch fish. I love it. But coming over here, we've got this second little building attached to it now with a very open front doorway with this kind of little setup here with the oak doors and the oak trap doors above it. But I kind of like it. The one thing I'm a little frustrated with right now is how the sides of these look. Like, this isn't my favorite way of doing it, but I don't really know what else I can do at this point without making it just feel kind of bland and boring. But coming over here, we can add in a little bit of the coarse dirt action right through here, so it actually looks like a pathway that you can get to the front of this guy. And I think what I might just do, to be honest, is adding in a bunch of just leaves and cover up the side of the building. What I was thinking originally was a little bit of andesite or something along the base, just as make it feel a little bit more fortified, like building up some of this, like throughout, like right here or something. But I feel like that's a little too much almost. Actually, you know, I kind of like that. Maybe we would just do some slabs and stairs in there instead, but it's not looking half bad. Just a few more little things added in here, being some of that andesite extended out a bit of ways and added in some bushes here. And I'll figure out something to bring in here. Honestly, might just bone meal this section out. I don't really want to extend another wheat field bit right in here. I feel like that would just be too much of the stuff. But there we have it, my friends. 1 out of the 5 buildings tackled down here. And it's looking pretty good. I really like that andesite top to it. I don't know if it fits in perfectly well with our build here. Overall, it kind of stands out, but I really actually enjoy it. I think it's a good little touch for us here. But my friends, we've got these 3 buildings left, which I think will be great for a time lapse later on. But first and foremost, we got to figure out what the heck we're doing with this here Harbor Master. I've been designing this new build, and this tower just kind of came together over here. I like it. I feel like it's very similar to what I'm doing in X-Life, but I think I'm going to leave it for now. It's kind of a cool little detail that we can add into the structure here. And coming on the inside, it's just got a nice little oak floor. Then you come in here, it's got an andesite floor. You can jump up this side. We've got 2 little windows in here, and then you can jump up again. And this gives the Harbor Master, whose kind of base this is, or house this is a way to see out of here. I know it's rather flat, but I want it to feel like just your head's kind of peeping over the top of it instead of, I guess we could in the corners here. I was trying to make it mob proof without having to light it up here as well, but I guess that's okay if we see a few skeletons. But you can kind of see this area out here. You can take a gander and look out across everything that we got going on. You can see all the way over to those and the castle and all that cool stuff. See all the boats going by. I figure that's a good place for the Harbor Master to be able to maybe enjoy their morning coffee. Next steps, however, is coming up to these areas, and how I like to do all of this stuff is just bringing in a bunch of our stripped logs here on the ends and having this going vertical. With the same way that we have everything else going, so we can come over here and strip all those lovely ones down. And then in these little sections, typically what I do is having the oak logs going this direction. But on this build, I want to try something else. just using oak planks. So coming through here, in order to save ourselves a few resources, not that it really matters because we're going to be losing all of our resources going into the next episode, which I have a great plan in mind on how we can get those back. That won't just be, again, like a killing a certain boss or something, or getting to the end and then we get our shulkers or whatever it is. But I've got a great idea in mind of how we can get everything back and still keep to the true values of building inside of this world. So I'm very, very excited for that one. But coming over here, we can just continue doing this end bit here with all of these lovely little stripped oak logs. Then this whole section over here, I guess, would be the oak planks as well, and just be a little bit flatter. And then I'll add some windows in and need to get the whole roof bit in here. But that's kind of the general idea. Just a unique element that we're adding to this one is building in the planks to this build style instead of where we've been normally using those stripped logs everywhere. I think it'll give it a cool bit of a contrast for the structure. And look at this lovely guy right here. I think it actually fits in with the style pretty well. Now in this whole section, get rid of the shulker boxes. This whole area down here is awesome. I love this. I added in a bunch of little yellow flowers right here. Now that I'm looking at this, I think I want to actually raise this guy up to being right there, just so there's a little bit more variety into it. But overall, I'm super happy with how this one turned out. We can take a quick look around the structure. I know this one we did super fast here, but we've got a lot to build today, so I don't want to take up too much of the video on each individual structure because we've got 5 builds to do inside of one video, and that's a lot of houses to make. And we've got 3 left here, everybody. We've got these lovely ones are tackled down here. We're ready to go, and they're looking absolutely awesome, folks. But I think what we do to mix this up moving forward, to finish off these last 3 structures that we have right here, they're all in a lovely little row. Let's go ahead and kick this off into good old-fashioned time-lapse mode for the last time of 1.15. Looking across this side of the river here, folks, it is looking way different now. We're not done yet. As you can see, a lot of the windows and details still need to be added in, but I wanted to break out of that time lapse here and just show y'all kind of the build process that I've been going through. As y'all saw in the time lapse, it's more about fleshing out the shapes of them, and then we get the lovely job of coming back in here and detailing all of it. But we can cram a little window in there, we cram a big window on top of there, maybe 2 small ones in this one out on the side over here. And then this building right here is supposed to be the apothecary, right? So we're trying to make it look like potions are brewed here. Right now it just looks like a longer house with a little area out in front of it with 2 chimneys. And what I want to do is I want to make a larger cauldron-ish looking thing out in this area, so it can actually look like we have a bubbling giant cauldron of sorts, maybe where they're making the brews and everything. And then we'll add a few elements outside this to look like an exterior workstation where they can do that stuff in. Same thing for, we have the potter right over here. Right now you just kind of come this way, and then there's a larger door out the back here, which could be more for like some machinery setup of sorts. But I want to actually create like a area where they can stand out in this back point, so probably bring in some of that sort of a railing system there back in here. And then we're actually going to split it in half, so kind of like right along here or something. And this is a tailor, so I want to give them a little bit of a back area where they can like dry off some clothes or dye some different clothing and things like that. I think it's going to be a great way that we can spice this area up, make it a lot better than it already is. But I've got to get back to detailing, folks, so let's get to it. Just was adding a few last little details around our apothecary, which very much now looks like an apothecary or an alchemist of sorts. We've got this giant cauldron over here, which is just andesite stair, polished andesite slabs, and inside of it we've got some water bubbling away. I did raise up this little platform right here and change it up just so we could have some more space to work with. Added a small stone brick trim into the work area. We got some nether warts over here, some barrels and some note block crates. We got our little lily of the valley. We got some potions on the wall. We got a brewing stand back here, and we've got a little, I don't know, coat rack of sorts right in there. And I think it's all working out pretty well, my friends. I'm really happy with this one. I think it turned out pretty well. I was gonna do one last little guy right in there. But that's where we're at with this one. I did add in a bunch of windows, and then we have lilacs, I believe, or whatever those things are called up there. I don't really remember. What are those? Alliums. That's what they're called. So we've got those guys added in all the way around the top up there. We've got the backside. I added a bay window onto this corner, and then some leafy goodness right back here as well. It's a very big flat area right there, but I don't really mind it too much. I love this cobblestone chimney as well. I think it's doing great. But we're going to be taking a little bit of a break from this area right now, or at least I'm going to. You all will probably see a little bit of a cut and me being like, look how much stuff we built. But it's actually time for me to go do some lovely live streaming action over at twitch.tv/fWhip, where we're going to be working on the last bits of the mountain for our final Mountain Monday before 116. There's a lot of final things in this episode, but time to go stream. Back from working on the mountains, folks, and I've been spending a little bit of time over here working on building up a few more things around the village as well, and it is looking sweet. I am so very happy with this one. It's turned out better than I possibly could have expected, to be honest. At this point, this is kind of the last little bit that we need to detail in here, which I'm thinking just a small little tree like that little guy with the acacia leaves and the birch fences, I think would fit perfectly in here, because I don't want it to shadow off that area too much. I believe we already checked out this spot over here. If we did not, it's been a few hours because I was building mountains for a while, which we'll get to that stuff soon. But this one worked out pretty well. Yeah, we did check that out. We did. I finished up everything on this back area over here. This terrain looks a little interesting. I will leave it for now, but that's fine. Added in a giant pot of sorts, a giant vase. I don't know. It's very out of proportion wise, and it's got this big little steps. You can walk up here and put something on the inside. Maybe it's full of water, catching rainwater or something for us. And then we have this little nice front area just kind of showing people are working in here. And then I purposely left this area between the houses open so we could have a way to walk back. So we got a little bit of a cart that somebody might be pulling out of here. And coming back into here, we have the tailor on the left-hand side and then the potter on the right-hand side. They're kind of sharing this general workspace. I saw this as something on Reddit a while ago. I tried finding the post again, but I couldn't. And I saw something like this that I thought was really cool for somebody decorating like a tailor shop of sorts. And so I kind of used that up here as well. And I think that table design using the spruce trap door there in the middle and between those, so you can actually put an item frame on it. I think I saw that in that as well, but that seems to be coming from there. I don't know, but I kind of set up this little tailoring area out here. I think it's pretty solid. Then we got a bunch of flower pots and things over here. So we got a small size being just, you know, the flower pot itself. Then we got a medium size, which is maybe for a small tree of sorts. We got this one right here with that thingy with a flower pot on top of it. Then we have our large boy right over here, which we do have one in the front as well. Then excess clay that they're using to make the pots and everything. The one thing I didn't build, now that I'm realizing it, I didn't build a kiln. Maybe that would be something that we can throw a quick chimney out of this build, because I don't think this one has a chimney going out of it yet. That could be where we get our kiln from, so I think I will add that in there. Oh, did I add one in? Maybe I just didn't take it down yet. I did. Okay, so we could just have that being signifying that there's a kiln on the inside of this place. Then, speaking of which, we've also got another chimney added in over here to this side. There's a lot of leaves missing in that spot, but that's okay. Hopefully that first bit wasn't too framey there. If it was, I apologize for that. I don't know why my frame render distance was turned up to 40 while I had shaders on, but it was. Coming down over to here, though, I decorated out the front of this one, adding in a few of these lovely points. This is for the tailor. And we've got these lovely little places in here. The interiors of this is not done. This one doesn't even have a floor. It at least has torches to make it mob proof. But this whole view, looking over at this side, is just so different now. Now that we added in all of these different structures, got all of this stuff detailed out, it is freaking awesome. I'm so happy with it. If we come on up here and like look back down at the area, Like, look at that. Look at what we were able to do today. This house right here is brand new. This one right there is brand new. That little chimney sticking up there in the background is brand new. There's another new one right behind that. There's a new house right over there. And all the fields kind of inching in the background way over there are all brand new. I just can't get enough of this project. I know we're moving on from this one after today's episode, so I'm okay with spending a little bit extra time with y'all here, just flying around, getting a few little eye candy shots of this one. I still got to fill in that area, and I still got to build a little tree over there for us. So I'm gonna get those ones done, and we will see where we are at, folks. Was headed over to the port city to grab up the maps so we can update them one last time to finish this one off, and I want to give you all a quick update on the mountains. This new point over here, if anybody's familiar or newer to the series, we have kind of the main port city right down in that area, the farming village right there. Then I'm working on some custom mountains in survival. And well, I just finished up this entire thing on the stream. So everything up here, which is always really fun to take a look at, is hollow. It's all hollow underneath, and it's a giant pit of despair that nobody wants to go down to. That being said, an area we do want to go to, though, is our lovely map room right here. We need to grab up all 4 of these. Actually, you know what? These top 2 we can probably leave. We just need to grab up these 2 right here. And with the village, we'll be loading in here very, very shortly. I am so happy to say that this project is done as far as the building goes. We will come back over here every once in a while and work on stuff on stream or just when I'm looking for a small project to do. We've got plenty of terraforming bits and everything like that to do around this place. So if y'all enjoy this one, I hope y'all continue to enjoy the future ones that are coming moving forwards. I've got a lot of great ideas in mind. I love this with the armor being invisible. I am wearing armor. We just make it invisible. But thank you all so very much for all of the support across this series here. Everybody's really seemed to love this one a lot. We're going to be moving into Minecraft 1.16 right away for the next one. And just as a reminder, if you would like to get your hands on the world download for this one, I will do a world download. If this video hits 5,000 likes, my friend, I'll publish an early world download for you all to be able to get. But that is going to have to do it for today's folks, for today, folks, as we are planning these maps right back down here. We can do that, and there we go. Check that thing out. That is absolutely awesome. Thank you again so very much for the support. If you did enjoy today's video and you are brand new, please consider clicking that subscribe button while you're down there. And my friends, let me know what ideas you all want to be seeing in 1.16. I am all ears on this one. I've got a bunch of great ones myself, but I could use a bunch of stuff that you all have in mind as well. And it's time for me to take off all of this gear right here, definitely unequipping things, I swear, and put it in a shulker box to be stored for the future. And with that, my friends, I will catch you on the flip side.